Yep, perfect.
Okay.
Thanks, Hillary.
Okay, I was not at the first meeting, but I have written out some things of marketing that I've known in the past. And I work with adults who believe in the power of personal change, but are frustrated with their present system and their lack of progress, and are ready to adopt another way of life that leads to more productive and a happier 2019. That's where I
Okay,
am.
beautiful. Okay, that's a good start. And then also, what's your breakthrough?
What's my what?
What's your breakthrough from first session to second?
Well, I didn't attend the first session, so I wasn't.
Okay. Anything great happened to you in between anyway that you want to
Well,
share?
yeah, when I put a date down and get committed, then I start working on it. So I know I have to have that. Knowing that I was having this meeting today, then I got with it and started writing stuff out and getting more serious. I'm going to be offering a program, three different sessions in January. So I'm getting busy on that now.
Beautiful. Great job. Thank you. Just know we still can't see you, but hopefully we will, but before too long. All right, great. Thank you. And Lisa, are you able to talk yet? Are you possible to come off mute? Oh, maybe not yet.
There
okay,
we go.
Has she, go ahead. Why don't you share? We're sharing the breakthroughs from last week. And then I want you to say who you are with regard to your name and company, what you do, and tell us your message.
I am sorry that I got on a little late. I'm just discombobulated. We just got back from Mexico. And can you talk to someone else so I could just get, we're unpacking.
Absolutely. Mary Beth, why don't you call on the next person who's here?
Okay, Lisa, are you able to join us yet? I'm going to try unmuting you. Maybe that will help. It won't let me unmute unless we're both pushing the button at the same time. Linda.
Linda's still on mute.
Unmute. There we go.
There you are. And Linda, can you press your video so we can actually see you if possible?
Actually, on this, I can't do video at the moment, but I was trying to call in from a regular phone, but just to try to catch you. So I can't video at the moment, but.
Okay, no problem. So go for it.
Okay. So I just joined in. This is my my first time. I got the email and I wasn't able to join you last time. So of course you're starting with me. So this is my first time. So
So tell us your name, what your company is, and what you're an expert in.
Okay. So I'm Linda DeGrazia, and I have several companies, but one of the thing that I'm doing most now is I'm an advisor and consultant. I work mostly with entertainers and actors, and that's what I'm doing most of the time now. But I also have brick and mortar businesses. I own a gas station, an auto repair shop. I have owned, I've owned restaurants, and so I've been in a lot of different industries, but the consulting and advising is what I do now all of the time.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Welcome. Glad you're here. And thank you. All right, now it looks like Lisa went off mute. Lisa, are you able to join us for a moment?
Yes, I am. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. How are you doing?
Awesome.
Can you come on video by chance?
I probably can in about 2 minutes.
Okay, great. So in the meanwhile, while you're working on that, can you share with us your company and what you do and the message piece?
Okay, I don't have what I sent you, but I can send my other version of it. Hi, Fan. I know somebody here that I didn't expect to be on this call with us, as well as Heshi. But my name is Lisa Lieberman Wang, and I help women go from feeling fine to fab. Fine is how I used to feel, which was effed up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. And I felt much better to be fab, fabulous, awesome, beautiful. I help women move away from depression, disordered eating, and self-sabotage to be able to live an authentic life, happy, healthy, and free.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And then when you can get on video, that's great too.
Well,
okay, and thank you. And Heshi, are you ready? Who you are, your company, your name, and what's the problem solution piece of your message? Oh, can't hear you. You're on mute.
Okay, is that all right?
There you go.
Okay, so I left for Mexico right after the last call, and I just came back, so I have not had a chance to go over my message, but I will tell you who I am and what happened as a result of the last thing in my messaging. So I'm Heshi Siegel. I am a speaker, author, and trainer. I am also the founder of the nonprofit Kids Better World, and also of the founder of the global water campaign called Purity for Humanity, because 5,000 kids die every day from drinking contaminated water, and it doesn't have to be that way. So when I was in Mexico, other than for health reasons, I was there to distribute clean water to children who just don't have anything and get sick. But something that just happened means I've got to change my messaging, because I've been an activist for clean water for quite a while now. And when I came home, I have to admit I've got to really change the messaging, because I got a boil water advisory, and I know that areas 20 minutes from me have been under an advisory. And thank goodness I had my purity bottle, because I actually could drink. I can't take a shower. I can't wash anything. I can't do anything because I'm getting pretty emotional. Now I know what it feels like, because when I went to turn the water on, I couldn't use it. I've got to change my messaging, because as much as I've been an activist and going to EPA meetings right now, I've been feeling for everybody, but I can't use it myself. So it's a whole new feeling. And I know that has to be far more powerful, because I can't do anything. We're going to go to the fire station after the call, and we're going to get clean water from there. I don't know how they're trucking it in, but I know I've got to change my message, because I have to become totally even more committed to making sure people are prepared.
And you're in Philadelphia right now?
Yeah, I'm outside of Philadelphia. I'm in a small town called Yardley, but and Lisa should appreciate that because of her husband Yardley. But we can't do anything with the water, and people are getting sick. And thank goodness I was away. But then I came back to this, and then the first thing I thought of was the poem, which is slipping my mind, as the first came and didn't do anything, and then the next group came and they didn't do anything, and finally it came to me, and there was no one left to speak for me. So I guess I'm really very, very emotional right now, because it really feels awful, because I feel like I touch the water or put it on my skin, and although my water bottle takes out everything, so thank goodness I can drink it, but they don't have, and I can use a squeeze one to squeeze water out, but right now I can't take a shower, I can't do anything, and I've got to be able to get that message out, because people don't understand that it could happen to them at any time. We never ever know, and so I have to change my messaging to get that across, because it's really hard.
Well, that's really powerful. And first of all, I just want to acknowledge, I'm sorry that that's going, and that you're going through this and that's happening for you. And I will tell you right now, Heshi, you can use your message in the media right now. Okay, so we're going to talk today about using everything you've got. And I want to say to you, after this webinar, I want you on the phone to, and I want you just to pick up the phone simply to your local ABC, NBC, CBS radio and TV affiliates and talk about clean water. And this is what you've been doing for years. And, you know, now you really understand it. And here are some things to do. And talk about how to, you know, how to create clean water. Like, what do you do right now? I think that's a hot story. You're right in the middle of it.
Oh, it's in my paper every single day, and it's on the front page. But now, even though I've been an activist for others, I really feel it.
Right, and I want you to be the resource right now is what I'm telling you.
Okay.
You're going to take what you do right now, and you're going to take it into the media.
Okay.
Okay, so that's powerful. So thank you, and I hope it, you know, gets taken care of very soon.
Yeah. Okay. You too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, do we get everybody? Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Mary Beth, there's nobody I'm leaving off, right?
Unless Ton wants to say hello.
Good. Well, let's actually have Ton say hello because this is something I'm actually giving to you as a gift. And Mary Beth, why don't we put up that slide, even though it's not right next, but since Ton's here and able to be here, let's introduce him right now. So Ton, welcome.
Hello, everyone.
And, Ton's a wonderful master business coach who actually every time I'm live in any city is with me. And what I'd love him to do is just talk for a moment. And it's part of a special gift that we're going to give you. So, Ton, you want to just introduce yourself and talk for a moment?
Absolutely. Again, my name is Ton Dombro. I live in the warm state of Wisconsin. That's why I'm sitting here in my car in a jacket. I'm actually on my way home. But just wanted to say hello to everybody, take a couple moments. One of the things that I do with Jill is I work with her and her clients and helping them develop their business. And so she's offering a 20-minute session with me, usually on Zoom. You can see the link there on the screen. And what we'll do is we'll work through, you know, what your goals are, what you're looking to accomplish, any challenges that you may be having, and then from there create a path to help you reach the success that you're looking for. And quite often I'm able to help people, you know, double, triple, or even 10x their business. So, you know, today, like I said, I was just stopping in to say hi to everybody, and we're also going to be doing a bonus session. So if you do go to a live event, we do bonus sessions prior to those live events, and we're actually holding one today for our event coming up on Wednesday.
Right, but regardless, you get it anyway.
Anything else you want me to add there, Jill?
Just to know that they get it as part of their investment in the course. And so how you do that is you go to his link and you actually schedule it, and you will receive such great value. And that's our extra special gift to you, is working with Ton for your business and his genius. Okay, everybody's clear on that?
And I'll go ahead and put it in the
Thank
chat
you.
too, if I can get the chat box to open up.
Well, you're also welcome. Definitely take advantage of it and do it really soon, because I know great value will occur for you. And I know what's been happening with our clients and with my businesses. I've been working with Ton. So I'm delighted and excited. And thank you, Ton, for taking some time just to drop in and let them see your shining face.
My pleasure. Thanks a lot, Jill.
All right, stay warm.
Oh, definitely.
All right, great. Okay, good. And I just wanted to see if there's any questions before we pop right into the next segment today. Today, just so you know, we're going to cover using everything you've got. We're going to talk about the months of the year. I'm going to share a little bit from my story. And then we're going to move into bios and go through how to do your bio today and an announcement. Okay, so lots of great stuff. And I just want to see if there's any specific questions you've had between first session and second. Mary Beth, let's go back to participants again for just a moment.
Sure.
I can see them.
And I just want to reiterate for those of you who joined a couple minutes late, the homework you'll be receiving that back later today. Jill and I had some major technical difficulties trying to get that back to you, but you'll have it today.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, any specific questions I can help you with? And just raise your hand if you need anything. If not, we'll go into our next segment. Okay, great. I'll take that as a not questions right now. My cat is doing something weird. Okay, good. Okay, so let's talk about using everything you've got. The power and what I love about Publicity is it takes care of your business through whatever's happening, right? And one thing I love about using everything you've got is I want you to use your ethnicity, your religion, your gender. It's like using any aspect of what you can. So here's two examples from actually, I'll give you examples from both books. One is when Get Noticed, Get Referrals came out, I actually, I put myself out there as, how to get noticed in the political realm. Well, my friends, I'm not a political expert, but that's what was happening. Like I'm sharing with Heshi, well, right now that's happening in her world. She's a water expert, a clean water expert. So absolutely, we want you to focus in on whatever's happening in the media, see where you can get in. I call it use everything you've got, okay? One of my clients, Richard, who's an expert on helping foster families, particularly in Mexico, get reconnected. Well, with the whole immigrant story and all the issues that were happening and all the news around that, Richard is in this course, was in another course, and I said to him, now is your moment, right? And by following my advice and using everything he's got, he got on ABC TV twice, and then we up-leveled it, and then he got into CNN, and then Associated Press. I mean, how's that for amazing and awesome, and using everything he's got, including the media, the story of what's happening today, right? And that's so powerful. So I really want you to hear how amazing this is, and bear with me just one moment. Sorry, just had a little cough there. I want you to look at and be thinking about and be open to how can you be using, like Heshi's case, the news of the water right now. Oh my God, she's a water expert. Like, how perfect is that? Or, any of the things that are happening in the media at the moment, or perhaps the months of the year. So Mary Beth, let's bring up the months of the year and let's just go through them a little bit. Like as we look at January, right? What's the themes of January? Goals and weight loss and health. Many of you on this webinar can zoom into that, whether it's Anne and talking about, how to be free from the fear of what's going on. Lisa, becoming more fabulous. Heshi having clean water. Each one of you, Linda financial, I can go through different ways and why you would fit into the month of January. February is about love. March is spring. April, taxes and financial. May is Mother's Day. June, Father's Day, graduations, weddings perhaps. In July, we're talking about, instead of Independence Day, I'd rather you think about what would you like to be free from. In August, it's hot summer nights and back to school. September, I like harvesting your business. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And instead of Halloween, what are you afraid of? Turning your stories into what are you afraid of, right? How powerful is that? November, gratitude is a great theme. And December, of course, the holidays end of the year planning, being ready and rocking into the next year. So, now's a good time for 2019 stories and what to be prepared for, right? Or how to be better prepared. The other thing I want you to be aware of is that there are months of the year that, for instance, specialize in certain themes. And so we want to look at the themes of the year and what's important for the theme and moving forward. So with that, there are fabulous calendars. Mary Beth, do you have the link for the calendar of events or different, places we've been talking about for them?
It is not listed here.
Okay, why don't you put it in the Zoom chat? Would be great.
I don't have it handy. And then because the one that we were using, it went away or it needed a paid subscription, the Chase calendar of events, for creating your own. And I think even now, I think you need to buy a book or something to be able to access the list. But it's like National Hot Dog Day and National Love Your Puppy Day, those types of things. You can actually create your own events.
And your own holiday.
Your own holiday, yes.
Exactly. So what I'd like you to do is Google for yourselves your particular themes. Like I was working with an organizer, and there is National Organizing Month. Many of you might even know when your particular month is. And if you don't, go ahead and Google it. And if they don't have one, consider starting your own holiday. Just a thought. As a possibility, you can actually start your own holiday. And I love that possibility. So that might be a great possibility for some of you, and a great way to get publicity going out. For instance, and this is like, in the theme of using everything you've got. When Prophet of Kindness came out, we were having a pretty intense election, not much kindness. And so we sent out a press release called the Divided States of America, right? And that press release, not saying, hey, I got a new book out or any of that kind of stuff, but focusing in on the contentiousness of the race. And frankly, I could be putting a press release out on this every single day these days with the lack of niceness and kindness in our culture these days. However, sending out that press release, the Divided States of America, Mary Beth, is there a way you can show that slide easily or at some point? Because I think that would be interesting.
It's not included in this presentation deck.
In this particular segment. Okay, great. Yeah. But I want to talk to you about it because what happened from sending out a press release, using everything I've got, using the things that were in the news, is over 45 radio interviews happened. 7 Fox News TV segments happened. Inc. magazine happened, and Fortune magazine happened, right? That was all from not like, ooh, yay, Jill's got a new book out. That's never what it's about, my friends, particularly those of you who have books. I really want you to understand that's not what it's about. What your publicity is about is creating ways into the news. Ways into the news. So I want you to put your PR antennas up. That's my PR antenna. See that? I want you to put your PR antennas up. And I want you to make sure that you're watching for what is happening in the news. Where can you fit in? And all you have to do, just look at your phone, every day and kind of see what's up, what's happening. Where is it that you could be featured in? Think Richard, who's now in CNN and Associated Press, talking about basically the whole foster family issue and immigration, even though, and I want you to hear this piece, that's not exactly what he does. So I want you to get broader and wider about how you fit in. And if you haven't yet registered yourself under Google Alerts, please make sure you put your, shall we say, keywords in Google Alerts, and that you start getting featured there. I know it will make a big difference for all of you. Okay, so that's just something I want you to pay attention to. Let's talk about, here's another story where I, shall I say, used everything I've got. And this was my story that when I actually fell and fractured both ankles at once in multiple places and ended up in a wheelchair for 5 months. Heshi, I think you might have remembered that time. Anne, I don't know if you knew me at that time or not.
I did.
But you,
I did.
yeah, yeah. And Mary Beth, go ahead and show him. This is what it actually looked like. I actually ended up in that wheelchair, and that was not fun. But here's what it did lead to, is what I call messages of hope. And that was a TV show using community access television programming. Now, I bring this up not only to share this story about how I used everything I've got. I mean, there I was with, 2 fractured ankles, unable to walk and or do anything for 5 months, and then in physical therapy for up to a year. And so when I was, as I like to call it, stopped in my tracks, I thought, well, what good can this do, And one of the good that I had it do was actually started a positive news TV show that I called Messages of Hope, where I interviewed amazing people who had powerful stories to tell. Now, I bring this up, my friends, because guess what? Then, of course, now that I have a TV show, there's more possibility for more press. So I actually went to my local Marin Independent Journal, and I said, the problem today is that people have given up hope. Now, what did I do there? I tied that back into exactly what we did in webinar number 1, and I tied it back to the problem today is. Well, the reporter there agreed. She said, you're right. And this is what happened next. Mary Beth, go ahead and show them the slide, which is a 1.5-page article in the Marin Independent Journal. And that, my friends, got that 1.5 pages. Here's the result of what happened there, because I believe in using publicity for ROI. That particular article you're looking at, number 1, has 4 pictures in it. Notice that. That was really amazing. And by the way, the reason those books are stacked up is because when the reporter walked in the room, which is, I was teaching my publicity course at the time in the Bay Area, when that reporter walked in the room, I said, would you please take a picture of the books? Now, what I did not know was that that picture would go, in literally the middle of that article, which is awesome. So you can imagine the sales of my books went way up. They did. And even though this article was not about the publicity course, it was actually about the TV show, I got 10 registrations in my publicity course from this article. Now at $9.97, because that was the fee and the investment at that time, there were 10 people who registered. That was $10,000 worth of revenue. One article. I'd say that's darn good, wouldn't you? And on top of that, it created what I call Atta-Girls. I'm patting myself on the shoulder, if you can tell. It's called Atta-Girls. Why is it called Atta-Girl or Atta-Boy? Because when you get publicity, people notice. And next thing you know, I'm getting a wonderful note in the mail, a couple of them actually. One of them from somebody fairly famous named Susan Rowan, who wrote How to Work a Room, smart, wonderful woman. And she had read the article and she goes, great job, Jill. Just a quick Post-it note. Well, you know what that does, right? It gets people talking about you. It gets people realizing that your name's been in the news and they better be paying attention to you. So this is something you want to keep showing up. And that is the power of publicity. That is the power of continuing to use everything you've got. And I want you to think about for yourselves, if having a show in your own market, wherever you live, might be a good idea. The great news is it doesn't cost anything. It's completely free. It's called Community Access Television. Most of you have it in your markets where you live. I know, especially New York and Philadelphia and Denver and all kinds of places where you are, they have Community Access TV. And what that is a free, did I say free? Yes, free resource for you to put your name out there, whether you want to do a show. Sometimes you can just use their video and do some, you know, do a segment video, whether it be sort of a commercial or a kind of video blog. You can do all kinds of things there. So go check that resource out. It's in your marketplace and it's completely free. So we love that. Okay, so check that out. And Mary Beth, would you please write in the chat Community Access Television so they'll remember that? And I think that'd be really great for all of you. Okay, so that's hopefully inspiration and focus for you about the power of publicity, what it actually does, and what happens when you get it. We love this. All right, let's go into bio. And this segment's about how to actually do your bio. And Mary Beth, let's go ahead and mute everybody too. So what I'd like you to do, I'm going to show you and share with you. See, I think we've got at least 3 bios. This first one is, you know, one of them is a little bit longer. That's actually my bio we're sharing with you, of course. And what you are going to do for your assignment is actually get me a short bio. So we have the long bio, and this is a little bit more what would go in the back of a book or in a longer program. Let's say you're speaking somewhere. But the truth is, what I've noticed in speaking is that they actually want shorter and shorter bios. So the short bio, which actually comes next, is the one I'm going to actually want you to focus more on. And the short bio in particular is, you know, I want you to think like 4 or 5 sentences. So if you notice in my short bio here, it's not everything I've ever done, but it's like the most powerful things I've done and the most important things I've done, so to speak. Okay. So that's what I want you to focus on, is what's like the best of the best about you. And that's a really important piece, is what's the best of the best about you. And that's what I want you to focus on for your bio. And then Mary Beth, go ahead and show her. This is Greg Cook. He was in my 1-year VIP program. And so we had time to actually write all 3 parts of his bio. You notice though, the 1-line bio is very different than the 4-sentence bio, and the paragraph bio is even different. So I want you to focus on your 4-sentence bio. Short, focused, simple. And that's your assignment to get me before the next webinar, is the short 4-sentence bio. And while we're right here, Mary Beth, why don't you tell them when that is due? And please just only get me the 4-sentence bio. That's the one I'll review and look at for you. And you can, you know, take a try and do the other ones, but the one I'm going to look at will be the 4-sentence one.
Yeah, that's going to be next Wednesday, December 12th by 5 p.m. Pacific.
Great. So for those of you who, for whatever reason, aren't on this, same things apply to you. Please get it in to us by December 12th at 5 p.m. and we will review it and make sure that your bio helps sing for you. Okay? And that's a wonderful thing. Mary Beth, there's one more sample if you'd like to just show them, and all of you will get these downloaded and you'll be able to review them too at your own time. So that'll be great for you. The other thing I want you to do is to review your bio. This is Jen. Jen was another one of my VIP consulting clients. She's a branding expert. And one of the things she says, she's really funny and fun. So we put that into her bio and made it just slightly a little bit more unusual. And, in all of your cases that I tend to like a straight ahead bio. And with some rare exceptions, like I had a gentleman, Swami Byandananda, who's very well known in the alternative world, and he's written many books, and the book I helped him promote was When You See a Sacred Cow, Milk It for All It's Worth. So you can imagine how funny that is. And we did make his bio really funny and his press release really funny, because for him, that was powerful. and I think that's really, really important. So you really want to make sure your bio, though, mostly reflects what you want people to know about you. And then go ahead to the next slide, because we've got to review your bio every 90 days. And you want to update as necessary. And I'll just share with you, like, really embarrassingly, and in full disclosure, the reason why I'm so strong about this is that on my second book, Networking Magic, we were so busy getting the book done and making sure that all the deadlines were met for the publisher that, well, guess what? I forgot to update the bio from Guerrilla Publicity. Now, I got so much great publicity from Guerrilla Publicity that we were in Entrepreneur Magazine and Costco Magazine and the Wall Street Journal and Entrepreneur Magazine and so many amazing places, because obviously, we were doing publicity for Guerrilla Publicity, but in the bio, it did not get updated. So as I opened up my bio on Networking Magic and read it in the back of the book, I realized that all we did was insert the bio we had used for Guerrilla Publicity. It was one of those, oh my God moments, right? And then it took a year until we got the second update of Networking Magic till we were able to actually redo the bio. That's a long time to wait. So I'm really big on update your bio every 90 days. There might be a new board you've joined, or maybe perhaps an award you won, or something amazing that happened. So that was my lesson. And I want to save all of you the pain of that. And to know that you always want a great 4-sentence bio that you can use. What I'm noticing is that you can use it for introductions and speaking engagements. And it can go in your email signature line as a quick read. So definitely make multi-use of your bio. I want to share with you that one of the women in this webinar, she actually lives in New York City, and she is a sound healer, a bit esoteric, and she had 12 bios until, frankly, she actually also registered for my VIP consulting program. And do you know, we took her 12 bios and actually made them into one that she never has to think about again. And imagine the time and energy you save when you have one great bio that you can continue to use ongoingly. That's powerful. All right, I want to just open it up and see if you have any questions on anything we've talked about or anything that you need clarification about.
I have one question.
Please.
You mentioned that our homework was due to you on December 12th?
Yes.
By 5 p.m. But the next meeting is not until the 18th. Is that correct?
Mary Beth, go ahead.
Yes, that is correct, and that allows Jill and I time to review it and for me to get back to you. And normally, under normal non-Mercury retrograde scenarios, you would have had your homework back before today's session. But like I said, Jill's been trying to get me this information back since I think Thursday of last week. It was due on Wednesday. She's trying to get it back to me since Wednesday, and I finally got them just as today's call was starting. So you'll have them today.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so, and why we do that is just to allow more time, exactly. So yeah, you've got the time right, Hillary, you're good. And Mary Beth, actually, while we're at it, go ahead and just tell everyone, remind them again, although it will come on at the end, when the next webinar is. As long as she brought it up, let's just repeat that.
The next webinar is Tuesday, December 18th at 12 o'clock noon Pacific.
Beautiful, thank you. And in between there, your other assignment is meet with Ton. Take advantage of the free gift he's offering, we're offering to you. And I think that will really support all of you also. Good. Is there any other questions for this moment? Okay, great. So let's move on. Oh, please go ahead, Linda.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, so I just had a question about the woman that you were just talking about who had 8 bios. Did
12 actually. She had 12.
Oh, 12 bios. I'm sorry. Did she have a bio for each I don't know, thing that she was specializing in, things that did she want? What were the messages? What was the reason for those bios?
Well, they were confused. First of all, she had way too many, and what would happen is she'd be speaking somewhere, presenting somewhere, and they'd say, "Send me a bio." So she'd redo the bio, as opposed to and I'm really big on being consistent and persistent in the marketplace.
Okay.
Be consistent and persistent in the marketplace. You will add to your bio perhaps every 90 days, or you might cut out something in your bio every 90 days where appropriate. But I want that consistency. And what she ended up was just confused, and not anymore. And she spent way too much time and way too much energy redoing bios. And so I find when you have one thing that you can use ongoingly, it's far more effective. It's a far more effective use of your time and resources.
Okay, so but essentially all these bios were for the same service.
Basically, just she kept recreating them or changing it, or, oh, this is better, that's better, as opposed to just getting one that works and shines.
Okay, because in my case, I'm doing many different things, and I'm trying to specialize in one so that I can concentrate on one, which can be a little difficult for me at times. So I was just wondering if she had other services that she offered, and she was trying to combine them in one, or she just initially was breaking them up, and now you combine them all in one. So, so I guess another question would be, if someone is offering more than one service and they kind of go together, do you think they should combine that into one bio explaining that, or?
I tend to like generally one bio, and in that you can say, also helps or serves people too, like that, and you can combine them. If you're completely different things you do, like I have people who are in MLMs and then might offer a completely different service, we might segregate them.
Okay.
We might segregate them, but not in all cases, by the way. Like, if somebody's a health coach and they're an MLM distributor for a particular product, I will probably have them include it.
Yeah, if it's a health product.
As an example. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Definitely. Thank you.
Okay, you bet.
Jill,
Yes.
could you talk a little bit about how you get featured on Google Alerts?
So a couple things. One is go sign up for it first, put in the keywords, and then what will happen is you will receive, and I'm sorry, I'm not overly technical, so I'll do the best I can, but you will receive basically, what are they called? Alerts. Yes, they're called alerts that will say, for instance, like I'm in kindness and I know that Kindness Week is in February, because I get Google alerts for it. Or if I'm speaking somewhere and somebody put in some PR and listed it, I will get a Google alert about it because my name is listed as a Google alert. So you want for sure your name and for sure some keywords related. So I list under publicity, promotion, marketing, like whatever is appropriate for each one of you. And kindness now, and different aspects that we're playing with in there, because you can also see who's writing articles about what. So for instance, last year, the reason I found out there was Kindness Week is all of a sudden I got a Google alert from a woman who wrote a big article in Parade magazine about kindness, because guess what, Kindness Week's in February, and she was zooming in on that. So that's how I got alerted, so that this year we can move ahead of it instead of behind it. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's why I love Google Alerts, and I think it really works.
Jill, one more thing. I understand how you get the alerts, but how do they feature you? Or am I just like...
If I can speak to that, Jill, they're not going to feature you, Heshi, but it's more of a keyword search. And so you put in the topics that are relevant to you, like say water and water emergencies and droughts and things like that, and you'll get notified on those.
Okay.
But you should also create an alert for yourself so that when you appear somewhere in the media, it will show, you'll get a notification. So you say there was an article published on you, and it's going to tell you, oh, we got a Google alert for Heshi Segal.
Okay, thank
So
you.
you don't get featured in the alerts. It's
All
just a keyword search.
Yes, exactly. You got it. Thank you. Okay, beautiful. Let's move on to the next segment, which is creating the I've heard of you somewhere syndrome. Okay, now I love this strategy, and this is again something that most people don't do because frankly, they don't know about this. And what's so cool about this is going to be a strategy that you're going to do every 60 days. Okay, so remember, I'm into systems and replicatable pieces you can do. So you've got your message that you look at, I like every 30 days, just to make sure you're clear and it's good and it's focused and it's simple. Additionally, your bio, you're going to look at every 90 days and make sure that, again, it's reflecting who you are now and appropriate. The announcement is going to go out literally to the media every 60 days. And let me share with you that so many of my clients who've been using this create more prospects from it. They get the continuous in the news focus so that the familiarity and trust is built up. And where you're going to use this, Mary Beth, let's make sure they see the announcement first, and then we'll tell them where to put it. And I think you've got that coming next, right? So I'm going to show you what an announcement looks like. This is going to go out again every 60 days. It's going to go over your bio. And so for instance, when Prophet of Kindness was about to come out, my announcement announces the publication of her 4th book, Prophet of Kindness. And then you notice what happens next is, well, let me just say, there are 3 announcements. I'm just going to back up for one moment. There were 3 announcements for Prophet of Kindness. The first one was that I got a contract with Career Press for a new book called Prophet of Kindness. That's one announcement. The second announcement was that Prophet of Kindness was published and came out. And the third announcement, which is the one you're looking at right now, announces the publication of her 4th book, Prophet of Kindness, on Career Press, which reached #1 bestseller status in 4 categories. This was my 3rd announcement about Prophet of Kindness, because we had 3 announcements to make about it. So how fabulous is that? And then you can see sample number 2 was announcing that I spoke on Tony Robbins' stage, right? And announced a little bit about the Message of Hope TV show that I talked to you about. And that went into a chamber newsletter, because that's one of the places you can submit if you're a Chamber of Commerce news member. Okay, so these announcements are, I want you to think of it like one sentence written in really positive now tense. And that's going to go out every 60 days, okay? And that's going to include and go ahead, the places to submit it to. So for instance, your daily papers, like people in the news section. Business Journal also has a people in the news section. Your Chamber of Commerce, if you're a newsletter. Your university, wherever you went to university, and if you went grad and undergrad, or you went on beyond that, please include everything. Religious newsletters, if you're a member of a church, synagogue, or a unity, or any kind of thing, they often have newsletters. And social media. In fact, one of the gentlemen in this Zoom webinar, not this exact one, but another one, he's from Australia, and he posted one of these actual wonderful announcements on his social media and got 225 likes that day. That's powerful. In fact, let me show you Susan Bialy. This is one of my clients. She's actually also been my consulting client. She's a medical doctor. And she said, check this out. So I sent my announcement out, and imagine my surprise. Basically, she got booked by meeting planners. She got booked by meeting planners from this. Okay, that's exciting. And Susan has gone on to do some amazing things. I helped her get a book deal, and through consulting, she's actually built her, she wanted to go from being a medical doctor to also being a health coach, and she's now doing that. So we're pretty darn excited about her. And she also flamenco dances twice a year in Cabo San Lucas and Acapulco. That's beautiful, right? I love that. So let's go back to all of you and see if you have any particular questions on this piece. And before I do that, I also want to say to you that I'd like to see your 1-sentence announcement. All you need is 1 sentence. So you're going to announce something you've done already, whether you gave a speech somewhere, or you just, you know, like Heshi, you can announce that you were in Mexico feeding, you know, helping the children, not feeding the children, but helping the children. Some of you, whatever you want to announce. Lisa, I saw you speak at City Summit. You could announce that. And of course, the fact that you've got a new book out. So all of you have something you're going to announce, and I want to see 1 sentence. Write it like as if it should be something that already happened. So just to tell you that, and I don't even care if it happened a year ago. So, you know, it ain't news till someone prints it, right? So I think that's really, really important. And beautiful for you to actually do. Okay. I want to see if there's any questions. Questions? Mary Beth, also, would you please put in again that announcement is due at the same time that your bio is due? And Mary Beth, will you just repeat that and also put it in the chat? Would be fabulous.
Yes.
Go ahead and repeat it verbally.
The assignment part 1 is to submit your 4-sentence bio. And then the assignment part 2 is to create your 1-sentence announcement. And then they are both due by next Wednesday, December 12th at 5:00 p.m. Pacific. And you will email them to me at info@jilllublin.com. And this information will also be included in the email that you get with the link to the recording and the handouts as well.
Beautiful, thank you. And then Mary Beth, we also had one more free gift for them and an opportunity to up-level what they were doing. Do you have that slide for Steve?
Is that the one for Steve? I think it's in part 3,
yes.
Actually.
Oh, is it part 3? Okay, then you guys have to wait. But we'll be sure to get
Sneak
you
peek.
A sneak peek. That's right. I like gifts. I don't know if you've ever read The Language of Love, but one of my languages of love is gifts. So I love giving gifts to everyone I work with. Excellent. Are you all clear about what to do next? Is there any last minute questions or any comments? And for those of you, by the way, who are listening, be sure to come in because it's always wonderful to be interactive and see your wonderful faces, and excited to be with all of you. But really, I just want you to operate in the next, you know, bit of time here in a space of looking for your PR opportunities. Look around in the news, see where you can fit in. Be open to what's next and possible for you that might be a little more expanded way for you to look into the news and be part of the news, and to know that there's always more opportunity for you to be showing up. So I'm opening up that possibility. I'm asking you to keep your PR antennas up, and I can't wait to see you on our next webinar.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, take good care.
Okay, thank you.
You're so welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.